You know, when you get a university degree, there's a promise that comes with it, a promise of quality. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the 7 pillars that hold up that very promise in Malaysia's higher education system. It's a framework that's all about building the nation one graduate at a time.
But let's start with a really basic question. What actually makes that piece of paper, that degree, valuable? I mean, it's not just the fancy font or the ceremony, right? It's got to be something much, much deeper. This question, it really gets to the heart of what education is all about.
And that value, it really is a promise. A promise that the person holding that degree isn't just book smart, but they're a well-rounded, balanced individual who's actually ready to make a difference. And in Malaysia, this isn't just some nice-to-have idea, it's the national education philosophy. It's baked right into the system.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start by really nailing down what makes a degree valuable. Then, we'll look at the national blueprint that guides everything. After that, we'll dive deep into those 7 pillars of accreditation. We'll check out the all-important cycle of improvement, and finally, we'll talk about why this whole thing really matters to you. Let's do it.
So, first things first, what's the end goal here? What does a genuinely valuable degree actually create?
Well, it's all about producing graduates who are the complete package. Yeah, they're knowledgeable, of course, but they also have to be skilled, they have to be ethically sound, and they have to be ready to jump in and contribute to the nation. We're talking about building a workforce that has both competence and a conscience.
Now, to make a vision like that a reality, you can't just hope for the best. You need a solid plan, a national blueprint that sets the standard for every single qualification in the country.
And that plan is the Malaysian Qualifications Framework, or MQF. The easiest way to think about it is like the master blueprint for all of education. It clearly defines what a diploma means, what a degree means, in terms of skills and knowledge. This makes sure every qualification meets one single, trusted standard that's even benchmarked against the best in the world.
So what the MQF really does is create a common language for quality. It means an employer or a student or even another university can look at a qualification from Malaysia and know exactly what it stands for. It just builds so much clarity and trust in the system.
Okay, a blueprint is great, but a blueprint is just a plan on paper, right? How do you actually use it to check hundreds of different university programs? For that, you need a very specific tool.
And that tool has a name, the Code of Practice for Program Accreditation, or as everyone calls it, CAPA. So, if the MQF is the architectural blueprint, think of CAPA as the super detailed instruction manual that the Malaysian Qualifications Agency, the MQA, uses to inspect every single academic program.
And this is the heart of it all. CAPA is built around 7 critical evaluation areas. These are the 7 pillars we're talking about today. They are the absolute foundation of quality, making sure every single aspect of a program is held to a really high standard. Let's walk through them.
The first 2 pillars get right to the core product, the education itself. Pillar 1 is about the curriculum. Is what's being taught actually relevant? Is it designed well? And Pillar 2 is about assessment. Are the exams and assignments fair? Do they actually measure what a student has learned? I mean, if you get these 2 wrong, the whole thing just falls apart.
Next up, it's all about the people. This covers how students are selected and supported. Are they admitted fairly and do they get the help they need to actually succeed? And just as important, it looks at the academic staff. Are the lecturers qualified? Are they supported? Because, let's be honest, even the best curriculum on earth is useless without great people to teach it and the right support for the people learning it.
And the last 3 pillars are all about the system that holds everything together. We're talking about educational resources. Are the libraries, the labs, the facilities up to snuff? It also looks at how the program is managed and run. And then there's the big one. Is there a powerful system for continual quality improvement? This is the essential infrastructure that makes sure quality isn't just a happy accident, but something that happens by design over and over again.
That last pillar, continual improvement, is so crucial because it's what makes this entire system dynamic. Quality isn't a one-and-done kind of thing. It's a living, breathing cycle that's always evolving.
This is what's known as the Continual Quality Improvement, or CQI cycle. It's actually a really simple but incredibly powerful loop. You plan what you want to improve. You implement that plan. You monitor and review the results, and then you act on what you learned to get even better. And then you start all over again. It never stops. And what's cool is that this cycle is fueled by real-world data. The feedback doesn't just come from inside the university, they actively go out and get it from students about their experience, from alumni about how well the degree prepared them for their jobs, and from employers about what skills the industry actually needs. This whole feedback loop makes sure programs don't get stale, they stay relevant and effective.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. We've got the blueprint, the 7 pillars, and this cycle of improvement. But, so what? Why does any of this actually matter to a student, or to an employer, or to the country as a whole?
Well, this whole rigorous system creates a massive win-win-win. For students, you get the confidence that your degree is high quality and it's going to be recognized. For industry, they get a reliable pipeline of graduates who are competent and ready to work. And for Malaysia, it builds a strong global reputation for having excellent higher education. Everybody benefits.
So when you boil it all down, CAPA and the MQF, they're not just a bunch of rules. They're a promise that when you see a Malaysian degree, you're looking at a trusted mark of quality, of competence, and of readiness for whatever the future holds.
But of course, the world never stands still, does it? As education becomes more digital, more globalized, the big question is, how will these pillars of quality adapt? How do we make sure that promise of a valuable degree holds true for the next generation of learners, and the one after that? That's a question we're all going to be exploring together.